Hey everyone, I'm John, and today I'm going to be sifting some ingredients for gritty mix. And so I know a lot of people are curious about this, so I just wanted to make a quick video for those of you who are wondering what the process is like for mixing your own. So I'll show you all the things I use and the way I do it, and then you can see if this seems like something that you want to try. Now, if anyone's curious about gritty mix, but you just want to test it on a couple of plants, it's going to be a much better idea to just purchase a pre-packaged mixture in a small amount online somewhere or in a store if you can find it locally. If you are mixing large quantities, it's definitely cheaper to do it yourself, but you're going to need to buy a lot of items in bulk, and then you'll need bins and buckets for storage, and you'll need to purchase screens for sifting it to the right particle sizes. So if you just want to test it out on a couple plants, it's going to be much better to just purchase some that's ready to go. But if you decide at some point that you really want to start using a lot more of it and mixing it yourself, then this video will show you what you need to do. Okay, so I'm out here on the balcony, and it's a really good idea to sift things outside, or at least in your garage if you have one. It's going to be a pretty messy process, and there can be a lot of dust. You're definitely going to want to wear a mask when you're doing this, especially for something like this, which is diatomaceous earth or perlite. Those can be pretty nasty if you get any of that into your lungs, but in general, any kind of dust or powder is never a good thing to be breathing in. So since we all have several masks at home now, just make sure you're wearing one before you begin. Now this I just got from O'Reilly Auto Parts yesterday, and it's sold as a product which absorbs spills, like oil spills and things, but it actually also absorbs water and nutrients really well. So a lot of people love this stuff in their bonsai soils, or just even some people use it all on its own. So I'm going to sift some of this today, and I'll show you what that's all about. Now I have this set of screens here. I bought this set of 5 because it was the same price as purchasing 3 separately. And I actually do use all 5 sizes, so I'm really glad that I purchased these. I bought this set 2 years ago, over 2 years ago, and it's held up really well. There's no damage, nothing is broken, so I'm very pleased with these. And also, they click right into the 5-gallon buckets, which are easily available, so I just find this to be a really good system. So I have my bucket, I have my ingredients, I have my screen, and then I'm going to be putting the product of the size that I want to use into this bin for storage. Okay, so you can see that this is a pretty granular product, and there's lots of tiny particles, so it does need to be sifted before use, but there's no large particles, so I actually only need to sift this once, and that's going to be through my 1/12-inch screen. Okay, so sort of the most highly recommended particle size range, or the premium size range, is between 1/8 inch and 1/4 inch. So you would sift it so that it all falls through the 1/4 inch screen, but so then keep everything that does not fall through the 1/8 inch screen. So anything that's in between there is like really good for growing anything you want. For me, I'm in California, and I live on the southwest side of this building. It's super hot and bright, and I want my mixes to hold moisture a little bit longer. So I go down one more size, so this is a 12-inch screen. Anything that's bigger than that, I'm going to use, but nothing that's bigger than 1/4 inch. So that works for me. I have no problems, and I actually have preferred using my mixes since I started going down to those smaller particle sizes as well. So the best way to do this is just a little bit at a time. I'm just going to use a scoop and put it in and sift it. If you do too much at once, you can kind of overwhelm the screen, and you may get a lot of dust and smaller particles that are just trapped between the other ones, and so they're not making their way through the mesh. So it's just easier to get that more consistent particle size you're looking for if you do smaller amounts. So anything that falls through this, I don't want, and anything that doesn't, I'm just going to go straight into my other bin for storage. You can really see all the dust. Now sometimes partway through a session, this bucket might get too heavy, so it's a good idea to have a backup bucket. I can start using this one instead if I get tired of shaking this bucket around. This stuff actually is really light, so it's not a problem, but if you're sifting something like granite, it can be extremely heavy. So this is the size that I'm keeping, and this is the size I'm not going to use in the gritty mix. But you see that this is actually still tiny. These are still tiny chunks. So this is good in different potting soil mixes or out in your garden, but it's too small for the actual gritty mix itself. So later on I have a smaller screen, it's 1/20th of an inch, and I'm gonna sift all the dust out of this so I only have those tiny particles, and then I'll throw that into some potting soil that I might use on some other plants. Hey, so that was really good. So I actually ended up getting 2 full bins out of that 25-pound bag. So that's quite a lot of gritty material for, I think it was $13 for that 25-pound bag. Probably 1/10 of the price if you bought it online pre-sifted. Okay, so just to show you some of all the other things I have, this is fir bark, turfis, this is the diatomaceous earth in these two. There's lava, that's pumice, and that's granite. So I have all this stuff that I've sifted, so it definitely makes sense for me to do it myself. Okay, so I really hope you found this video helpful, and I hope you're inspired to give this a try, either by mixing some yourself and going all out, or just by purchasing some gritty mix online to see how you like it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. See ya!